Hi, my name is Vince, and this is my son Aidan. The build that we have here is Endgame, and actually we called it End Brick, Avengers End Brick. Been about 6 months in the making. We had actually started building it before COVID, and then when the Brick Fest got canceled, we decided that, you know what, hey, we're going to wait a little bit, and then we jumped back into it as soon as they announced they were going to do it again. We worked on a couple different setups at first. My son Aidan came up with something different on the actual platform, which is what you see here. We got about just over 400 minifigures altogether. We custom built Thanos' ship, using mostly Star Wars bulk. That took probably about 7 different tries, right, to do that. The biggest challenge with that was to support the weight and have it tilted. So we tried using some of the regular clear bricks, but just wasn't going to work out. So we wound up coming up with these acrylic rods and modifying them with Lego bricks so that it would support the weight, and it actually worked out fantastic. We also custom built the Avenger building, and then after we actually built it to look like a building, we just started to destroy it. I had my daughter, who's very artistic, go through and give me a distress look because after we did it, it looked like something that just hadn't been finished. Like they just had like pieces. So having it done the way it is now, it actually gives it that realistic look. We also had built the, what do we call the guys here, Bug? The little...
Snake dude.
Snake dudes, all right. So that's the official term. That's what we're going to call it. Fortunately, Lego came out with the van just like a couple weeks ago. So we had actually started building our own. That one's much better. And yeah, I mean, it came out fantastic. We're really thrilled with it. We love everything Marvel. You know, obviously we got a couple other things that we've had built over the years, so
yep.
Cool set.
It's a great layout, obviously very iconic scene here. Take us through more of the minifigures if you can, kind of the different factions we've represented here and how you captured those.
So working actually with Andy's Brick Shop, who's great friends of ours, we went up there and actually found all the pieces to put together because Lego doesn't make like specific minifigures for Asgard, which is at the end there. And then we have everybody that's with Doctor Strange and Juan from the Doctor Strange movie. That's the next one. Then we have everybody from
Wakanda?
Wakanda, thank you. Having a senior moment here. The Wakanda actually was really cool, so we came up with stuff that worked really well. I like that, and we tried to stage them just like they're coming in the movie, marching in. And then the Ravagers were probably the most fun because you could pretty much go anywhere with it. From the different movies over the years, there's a whole bunch of different characters. So again, we probably spent several hours picking through pieces, putting it all together. They helped us put some of it together, and then we did the rest at home. And then sourcing all the figures up in the front, going through, you know, Doctor Strange and Wasp and Groot, trying to find the right characters because they make different types and kinds. Again, Andy was very helpful in doing all that. The large Ant-Man that came in a specific set that we were able to get. So yeah, all the bad guys, it probably took us like 2 months. And every time going into Andy trying to wipe out what he had to find all those. So, yeah, it took quite a while to get them all. Hopefully we can continue, you know, bring this back again and continue to build upon it to try to make it even nicer with detail. But, yeah, we're very happy with it.
Talk a little bit more about the ship over here if you can, kind of some of the elements you used there and how you were able to capture these angles in that design.
So the first thing we thought of is, hey, you know, Star Wars has got the right colors. So we started looking at different sets and how they were built and the ships, and we were able to find a lot of bulk and sets that, you know, people were selling. Again, getting stuff from Andy, stuff we found online. They were incomplete sets, and we kind of started to put things together as a mishmash. It took us about 7 different tries to get it the way we wanted it. Trying to get the details as far as the different anchor points, mixing some of the Technic along with just the regular bricks to make it sturdy enough, and then to get that iconic shape that you see in the movie. The front of it actually was probably the hardest to get the look with the red. We actually found a light set that worked that ran off a battery, which is in the back of the ship, that we can swap out. It's rechargeable. That probably took at least like 8 or 9 times to get that right, because we just couldn't get it the anchor points the way we wanted it, so that we can lift it, close it, and actually get inside of it to do different things with the set. So yeah, it was a lot of work, but mostly it was Star Wars pieces and older sets that we were able to put together, and a lot of it was trial and error. We never did anything that complex before. It was our first time doing this.
Yeah. I mean, the experimentation there that you mentioned a few times is very important. You know, you don't have to get it exactly right the first time.
No. And then we came up, actually my son Aidan came up with the discs underneath. They have the drop ships that come off of Thanos' ship. So we were able to use those discs, again, Star Wars pieces, to give it that look, just like you see it in the movie. And also use, not the same one from Star Wars sets, but the scene where you see them coming through the portal, we were able to use those discs and light them from behind to give it that element, so it looked just like the movie.
And speaking of lights, we should mention these couple other builds you've got over here as well. Talk about kind of what you've done with those builds.
So, Aidan, I'll let you talk about the Hall of Armor.
The Hall of Armor was just I don't remember the exact set. It was the Hall of Armor set. We just put it on top of the next one. Andy helped us get all the Iron Man for it, and then we lit it up with some same light bricks that we use for Avengers.
Yeah, so you were able to make it pop a lot more with all those alternating lights in there.
Yes.
And then you've also, it looks like you used some lights on that build next to it as though, kind of the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, that's the bridge from Thor Ragnarok that they fight on with Hela.
I love the use of all those multicolored elements there. It really makes that build stand out.
Yeah. It's quite difficult, though, trying to get them so they didn't repeat patterns, but eventually, after time, we got it.
Great work. And then how about the big helicarrier here?
So the helicarrier, Aidan built that, and then after building it, this is our first set that we experimented with the lights. It's quite complex. How many times did it take us? It must have took us like 6 different tries to get it right, to get the cords, and especially the back of the ship where you can see the lights flashing, look like the afterburners. There's just so many wires and lights going through there, even though they're tiny. And if you're not just right with them, they break. And it gets a little frustrating. So we had to order a couple different parts, a couple different times. But we finally got it, and the look's iconic. And then Aidan gave it the dress to make it look like the one movie where it's falling out of the sky. I believe that was Civil War. So it looks like it's actually starting to crash.
Well, great work on all excuse me. Great work on all of these builds here. Can't wait to see what you do in the future. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.